love our theme song.
Here we are, Tim. You know, ladies and gentlemen, it's always like magic for me when Tim and I pop up on the screen.
Yes, right. Hi, everybody.
Hi, welcome to If These Walls Could Talk. I'm Wendy Stuart.
Well, that must mean that I'm Tym Moss.
Oh my God, all day long.
Yes.
Tim, you didn't put your last name on the screen today.
Oh, oops, I forgot.
No, I like that. You're just Tim.
Just Tim.
Just like Tim, the artist known as Tim. Well, I got to tell you, I was totally shocked waking up to this weather today. It was 70 degrees the other day.
It's a snowstorm here in Manhattan. It's incredible.
And it's just bitter and foul. It's absolutely foul. But you know what? The bus came. I had no problems, traveling today. So
oh my God, travel from uptown today was oh my God. Yeah, it took a long time to get downtown. Yeah, because I had lunch with Sue Matsuki.
Who's been on the show.
Yes. I had lunch with her today. And and my friend Nathan James from Philadelphia.
The journalist.
Yes, he had a stroke a few months back. He was in town and is great and moving around and getting around. I told him he's like a miracle.
Right.
Because he's up and moving and walking and talking and everything. He's fine.
That's really, really great. Mm-hmm. Always send regards. So it's been an interesting couple of days. On Sunday of this week we had, or was it Saturday? I have to confess something right here. The days often blend into one for me. And I have 3 calendars, but sometimes I am not sure what day it is. And it's got to be the pandemic.
I'm guessing it's Wednesday because we're here doing the show.
Right. Oh my God. Tim is so smart. But I had a really, really cool thing happen. I'm a member of the Imperial Court.
Oh,
and
right. That was Sunday.
Thank you, Tim. Wow. We complete each other's sentences. So we had an event at Industry, which was so much fun. We had a show, and it was our first gathering that we do before Night of 1,000 Gowns, which is March 26th. It's going to be at the Edison Ballroom. Very excited. This is like the creme de la creme event for the Imperial Court. But at this particular event that we had, it just kind of kicks everything off, and we give out awards. And this is so funny. So I normally sell raffles at all their events. I'm the raffle girl, Lady Wendy Darling. So I'm standing at the bar. I'm on my 2nd or 3rd Cosmo. I couldn't quite remember. I hear my name being called from the stage, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, damn, was I supposed to sell raffles today? That they were looking for me. I'm thinking, oh my God, I didn't bring raffle tickets with me. They didn't say we were selling raffles. And I hear my name again. So I put my Cosmo down and I walk up to the stage. They were calling my name because they were giving me an award.
Oh,
and I was
wonderful.
And the award was, we have the court system, right? So we're all different levels. So I was Lady Wendy Darling. That's like the lowest level. And Emperor, of course, is the highest level. Well, after Lady, there's some other level. I don't know what it is. And after that level is Viscountess. I am now Viscountess
Brava
Wendy Darling. So yeah, that was such a positive, fun,
cool.
Very, very cool thing. So yeah, it was really great. How was your weekend?
Oh my God, I did so much. I can't even remember. I can't
popping
remember
up
everything.
On Facebook.
But one thing I just want to announce is that we did get my birthday party / show scheduled. It's going to be on April 30th. So everybody keep that date free. April 30th. It's a Saturday night. And it's at the Q, which is at 48th and 8th Avenue.
Fabulous.
And it's going to be a party. I've got singers and performers and speakers, and you have to see my opening number.
I love it.
Definitely see my
can't
opening
wait.
number.
Do you have fire eaters?
No.
Okay. Well, I'm going to practice up on that for you.
You work on that.
That's just a joke. I don't eat fire. I spit fire.
But the Q is such a great club, and it'll be up on the 3rd floor is where the show is going to be.
Very cool.
But speaking of clubs,
oh my God! Speaking of clubs and legends, oh my gosh! Today we have a legendary queer culture icon, a drag artist, female impressionist, DJ, fashion designer, winner of the 2015 Glam Awards, living legend.
Yep.
Please, everybody, without further ado, welcome the electrifying Kevin Aviance. Yay!
Oh.
In the house.
Hi.
How are you, baby?
I'm good. I'm really good. How's everyone there? How are you doing?
Good. You are looking fab.
What
I
did you
love
say?
the lighting. I
I
love the
do, I
lighting
love-
with
yeah.
just the face.
Right.
It's all about the face.
It's very dramatic. What I love about it is it's very dramatic. And what's really cool is like when you lean forward, your whole thing, like that. It's like, oh shit, he's fierce. Okay, what happens when you come that far forward? No, you know,
It's a
this
horror film. Rawr.
this whole streaming thing. Why aren't our heads as big as Kevin's?
Yeah, to the lighting.
Well,
We've got-
girl, I mean, I have a big head, girl.
Well, no, I'm coming. All right, girl, I'm coming forward. I have to like
years and years and years of just having a big head.
right, years and years and years of everything.
First question
Yes.
out of the bag.
Out of the bag.
How are you? How are you now? And how did you make it through this damn past 2 years of the pandemic?
I went into this pandemic knowing that I could not come out the same way I went in.
Yes.
So I decided to educate myself and to pick up the little thing I was doing at the time, which was DJing, and totally immerse myself into DJing. So I went and got the equipment. For the first year, I went and got what I could get, and then the following year, I went and got the better equipment. You know what I mean? And I am so happy that I had the pandemic. To be honest with you, I'm really happy I had the pandemic to rest and to work with Kevin. You know, you're only good as your last dance record. So, you know, she had those. And so I just like, you know, I don't know. I just had to like reinvent and do something because they weren't letting me through again. You know, in New York City.
Wait, I just got to say that sentence, they weren't letting me through. But you know what, girl? You got through.
Yeah.
Now you bought DJ equipment and all of this, right? You didn't say that, hey, I'm Kevin Aviance. This is who I am. Yeah. You went and bought DJ equipment.
Yeah, that's what I did. And I went and I sat here and I just worked back and forth. And it was kind of easy at first because the technology is a little bit better than just learning with vinyl. It's a little bit different. Vinyl and I do not get along at all. But with the digital and all that stuff and the way they do with the MP3s and everything and the way with record box and everything. So I just sat here and I did it in front of people too. So that was with doing the Instagram shows. So that was really funny. And I didn't even know that I could do like hook up the thing to the computers. I was just doing like sound and like thinking that it was reading well and it wasn't, and people still were like clapping. I'm like, and it sounded awful, but the thing about it was just like it was really kind of fun because people are just everybody was just looking for entertainment at the time. You know what I mean? So, I loved to entertain, so it was fun. I got to, I started lip syncing first, and then I was DJing. It was really, really fun doing those shows. And
excellent.
So what happened was I ventured out and had my first gig, and then I started doing more and more, and then comes to find out that the DJing thing was really starting to stick with me, and I really truly love doing it. Like,
I love it. Great.
Yes.
So you discovered something else during the pandemic, which is really
that.
Cool, right?
Yes, and I wish I started this thing whole like moons ago. I wish I started this thing, but you know what? And that's the whole thing. So it's a new world. So I'm not playing a bunch of old music. So I'm playing music that from here on out, and
nice,
the last 8 years back. So it's good. It's good for me. It's really good.
Oh, that's wonderful. I love, again, that you found a passion and went with it. That's great.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, music saves your life. You know what I mean, Tim? You know what I'm talking
right.
about.
There you go. And I think
in your life, I don't know what you're doing walking around here doing whatever you're doing. Because without music, it's like, I can't imagine not having it,
Now, this isn't the first time you've had to reinvent yourself.
Yeah, well... No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't the first time. No.
So here's the deal, right? We have a lot of people come on this show, and they, in the 80s, they were something. Mm-hmm. And then, as you said, boy, it is easy to fall from grace, and they forget you really quick. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What is it about you, Kevin, that just like, you're going to turn it out no matter what, and you're going to turn it out any way you can?
Well, what it is that, I relied in the beginning, I was just like, it was a lot of fear in me. So I was really scared when I was doing those big junior shows and all that stuff. And I was scared. So a lot of times I was very ferocious, very like, ah, people loved all that stuff. But I was really kind of scared. I didn't have a handbook. I didn't know what I was doing. So I just like thought I was just like come in like a dinosaur and turn these people out and call it a day and just be, I guess they would call it rude, but it was called being fierce back in the day, or having drama or giving drama.
Giving drama and being fierce.
I couldn't do that now because we are in a whole different thing now. But but back then it worked and it was really cute. I then, with the clubs all fell apart and everything like that, it's just kind of like, you have to still hold on. I still had my records and stuff, so I was still performing all over the country and everything, all over the world actually, and performing. And then, with having Dindada and Cunty, these staple songs being who they are, I will always work when it came to that. So that was good. Then
by the way, I loved Cunty. I had to play it over and over again because it's funny because it's the word, right? But then the beat changes, and then there's another beat underneath it. And it is a very complicated. My God, I think you're going to like go down in history and like the classic music or something. It is like fucking classic for our time. I just wanted to share that with you.
Yeah, the Cunty is like, I never ever imagined that song being such a theme song for the kids, you know what I mean? That wasn't the goal. The goal was just to have a cute little track, you know what I mean? And when I hear that music now and I recommend, am I that person anymore? Am I that same girl back in the days? No, I'm not. I'm growing up a little bit. But the innocence of Cunty is such a coming out of your flower, making your flower grow.
Yeah. Well, again, like you were saying, being scared and pushing yourself with a song like that, stepping out. And
I mean, that song is like the long version is 14-minute song. So I used to perform 14 minutes of that record like nonstop. Like, girl, you couldn't get me to perform any record now for 14 minutes. Like I would perform that song like it was nothing. But now, girl, I'm like this, girl. You got 3 minutes, and that's it, girl.
3 minutes and give me a bar stool.
Right. Right. Yeah, but we are in a 3-minute time. We're in a TikTok world.
Right.
For all of us to have to like reinvent, right? Again, for the TikTok world, it is wham bam, thank you, ma'am now.
Right. It is wham bam, thank you, ma'am. Which is sometimes not always good. You know what I mean? The only thing about it, when you have something so disposable and so like that, so quick, you forget about, where's the word talent is kind of like obsolete now. It's kind of
exactly.
Yeah.
Can you get it done in a minute? We love you. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's kind of like, I don't know. It's weird. I'm glad I'm part of the. I'm part of the old school. So thank God.
Yeah. Same here. Yeah. Where talent actually meant something. Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
I do believe, I'm also a big believer of, your time is your time, and you have to let the girls come through. You got to let the kids and let the new ones come through, and you got to be there, and you got to be supportive, and you have to be there. You know what I mean? Your time is your time and stuff like that, and you should be able to perform forever and ever and ever. What you have to understand is the people that are coming up, especially the ones that are inspired by you, have to come up, and you have to allow them to do what they do. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You've got to give them their space to shine. Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah, but all too often, like I sit on the fence with this, Kevin, because all too often, we definitely need to let them, and we need to learn from them. Okay, if we're smart, we will learn from them. But you know what? Brilliance is brilliance. Talent is talent, and it is, in my mind, no age is connected to it at all. Girl, you can continue to turn it out, and somebody who's 25 or 30, they will turn it out. In their own, like we have a friend, Satanya Face, I think brilliant. You're gonna, and his name is Alex, brilliant performer, spoken word, like just watching him grow and cultivate. Okay. But then we have Satanya, and then we have you, and then we have the brilliant people in between. Girl, we want to collect them all. I am not sending anybody out to pasture in my world.
You know what? I really think during this pandemic, I think that everything's been leveled. Actually, it's been leveled.
Yeah,
right.
It's just like, I really do believe that it doesn't matter what age, what color, what anything. It doesn't matter. If you have it, bring it. And I think everybody wants to see it and be there for it. I really do believe that, things have changed in the sense of like, the hierarchy and this thing.
All of that.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
I mean, yeah, I'm a legend, I'm an icon, but it's like at the same time, I still want to perform. You know what I mean? I think,
Right.
I think I should be allowed to perform and accept, be able to have people there to see me perform. You know what I mean? I think that, and I'm really happy that is really and I do believe that's happening. I think that's happening. I think people understand that. You know what I mean? I mean, I love RuPaul's Drag Race. I love all the new queens. Bravo, I think it's great, amazing, incredible. But at the same time, I'm like, I want to hear the history too. You know what I mean? I want to see
exactly.
5 years from now, 6 years from now, how they're gonna be or whether they make it or not. You know what I mean? So,
but there, you know what? There's room for all of it.
Yes,
That's the beauty of now. You know what you're saying about them leveling the playing field? There's room for all of it. Okay. And for me right now, we got to cross all those boundaries, all of these like freaking walls and the uptown people and the downtown people and the this people and then that people. I want to blow it all the hell up because
in Brooklyn, I think in Brooklyn, the girls they're doing that.
Yeah,
I think the girls in Brooklyn, they are just major out there. They're just like, where New York used to have that really hardcore drag thing. The Brooklyn girls have really like stepped up and they have really given it now.
They're kind of carrying that torch in their own way.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
But yet the Brooklyn girls, some of them have told me, the older queens, they give them shade, because they've got facial hair, because they've got body hair. So we in this community all
it's so funny.
Way more accepting.
The first time I've ever seen a queen wear flip-flops was in Brooklyn.
I love it.
I was not having it, girl. I was like, has got flip-flops on. Okay. Wow.
Right. Kim said, clutch the pearls.
I was just like,
flip-flops, mon dieu.
Flip-flops. And she was like, unbothered, girl. I was like,
oh, my God.
Oh.
Kevin, you go because I have a long question.
I've got me too, but I've got so many areas that I would like to cover. One is the old nightclub scene. Yeah. And also if you could maybe weave in how you met or how your affiliation with Junior Vasquez had how you met Junior but I mean the club scene in New York City used to be off the hook. Yeah.
Like no other. Right.
And it's the queens now, they have no idea. Can you help to talk about
I come from a heavy club dance world. So I'm from Richmond, Virginia, which is like we had the nightclub called Scandals and Pyramid and the Fieldings Club. So I grew up in these clubs as a kid. Okay.
Oh wow.
So then was the drag queens of Richmond, Virginia, the Deltas and the Cocaine Sisters, and the Snow Sisters was the Black family. So Christmas Snow was the mother, and
you just love it.
Gina Tate, April Snow, they were like amazing. This Black hierarchy family of drag queens, they were amazing. Fabulous. April, Autumn Snow, oh my God!
In a way, almost the first house.
Gloria C. Snow, they go to perform their asses off. Anyway. So I come from that, and then going to DC, that was like a really major thing for me. I was with the boyfriend and moving from Richmond to DC, and then having to do that whole thing, and then coming to New York all the weekends. Going to the Sound Factory. That's where I got my life, because we had the DC, we had the black clubs that were like the Clubhouse, and then it was the Bachelor's Mill, which were like these black dance clubs, you know what I mean? So like Sundays, the kids used to go and dance. We used to go to the club to go dancing or do runway or whatever, and you put on your outfit and you used to go. So I used to put on my outfit and go and everything, have a good time. Anyway, so then going to DC, going to New York every week and going to the Sound Factory, and then becoming a member of the House of Aviance. And then,
wow,
that's all because we're all from DC. So we used to go there every weekend to go to the Sound Factory every weekend, and then to the point that we used to take 3 buses.
I love this.
3 buses, a caravan of people 3 big excursion church buses of people to the club, pull up to the club with 3 buses and let people off, and then get back on the bus when the club was closed. I'm telling you, we did it like 5 times. Like, ridiculous. And so then I moved to Florida, and then before coming to New York for the final stint, Florida gave me my drag chops because I worked with Adora and Kitty Meow and some other kids there, and really met a huge drag community there that were working every night in South Beach. I mean, every night they had a gig. So every night you had a gig. So you would get this like drag education, you know what I mean? And it was really interesting because my first drag name was Grape Soda, by the way.
Oh my God, I didn't.
I had no idea.
Fabulous.
My first drag name was Grape Soda. That didn't work out too well. And so I just kept Kevin Aviance, and then that worked out. So I just then moved from Florida, South Beach to New York City. Okay. And New York City was beautiful. It's 55th and 9th. I remember right there with the Abilene School. I lived right there. And it was Gay Pride Sundays. The Gay Pride do you remember the Gay Pride when they went uptown and they went to the Central Park? You remember that?
It was at Central Park, yeah. And Kevin, just give me the
instead of going
timeline
downtown, the thing went uptown. Still, it went uptown.
Right,
Are we talking the 90s? Because it's in
92.
No, it was 92. Yeah, because I was here then, and I was part of Paradise Garage. I remember all of that.
So 92, I'm there. I'm going to New York. I'm like in the parade, going up, going to the park and everything. And then realizing that this is not going to be so easy. So I was doing gigs for like $25, doing like 3 numbers at the break. It was just it was hard. But I will tell you something. The nightclub scene in New York City was amazing. It was like, there were so many clubs and so much to do every night of the week. And it was just like, major. I just felt like they just did us wrong. You know what I mean? They just did.
I remember you from Twilo. Twilo was incredible.
Twilo was incredible. I really am a Sound Factory head. I thought Twilo. I love the sound system at Twilo, but for me, Sound Factory to me was like, I guess what like Paradise Garage would be some people, or the C54, or maybe the what's this other place called, where the boys used to go to, the Saint. You know what I mean? Sound Factory was that to me, and Sound Factory was like, there was nothing more fierce than that place. And so everything else to me was just like, I mean, I loved it. God knows I worked at all the clubs. I mean, that's where I did my thing. I mean, I made my money and stuff. So that was it. You know, the clubs were fierce. But, you know, then things happened, and, you know, life moves on, you know.
Well, Giuliani came in, and just basically that's what happened. That's why I asked you about the timeline. Giuliani shut everything down. Giuliani,
one by one, honey.
Yeah, we watched it live.
Now, Junior Vasquez. Yes. Tell us about Junior.
Junior Vasquez, through Cesar Galindo, there was a party. There was his birthday party, and I remember Cesar was doing all the Cesar Galindo designer was doing all the decorations for the club that weekend. So he always did the decorations, and he lived above the Sound Factory on the 7th floor, and so he wanted me to say, you know, girl, let's get you into the Sound Factory to do the show for Junior's birthday. I said, what are we going to do, girl? He said, I don't know. We'll do something for his birthday. I said, well, we do, you know, I'll do Marilyn Monroe. He goes, Marilyn Monroe? He said, okay. I was like, yeah, girl, Marilyn Monroe. He goes, happy birthday, Mr. President. Yeah, happy birthday, Mr. President. I said, let's do her black, though. And they said, what? I said, so you know the Barbie was Barbie, then you had the Christie doll, right? I said, let's turn Barbie, let's turn the Christie doll into Marilyn Monroe. He goes, yeah, let's do a black Marilyn Monroe. I said, so we did a black Marilyn Monroe, and the jewels and everything, the double tone hair and everything like that. And Junior thought he loved it. He loved it so much. This is like the first time I kind of worked with him, kind of worked for him. Then one night at the Sound Factory, he was playing the pressure was playing. I remember wearing this black bodysuit, and I had these like things on my eyebrows. I was very club kid back in those days. And so Junior then the pressure comes on, and I just happened to be sitting up against the wall, and I knew the song, and I'm just like, and I just started performing and doing stuff. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, I look up, open my eyes, and the whole club is staring at me. And I said, "Girl, you better do this right now, because this is like the thing at the club itself. At the end of the night, there's always one queen. There could be a ballet queen. There could have been like, you know, a dancer, some sort of a person would come and do the last number and everybody would sit there and love. So this was my moment, you know." And so I said, "Okay, girl, let's do this." So I did the song, performed. Junior comes out of the booth and hands me orchids. And I'm like this going,
beautiful.
wow. And Junior never comes out of that booth for nobody. So
I love it.
I was like, wow. So from that night on, every weekend I did a number performed. And then Mark Berkeley, when we moved over to Tunnel, Mark Berkeley actually hired me to work to be the queen for Junior Vasquez. So that's how.
Nice.
What an incredible story. Yeah. What an incredible story.
Yeah, because a few years ago, I forget where it was, down in Chelsea, I think it was. Junior did a one night only thing, and there comes Kevin.
Right.
Kevin came out to work.
You know, it's so funny because I always tell people, Junior and I, we're not friends. We're not friends at all. We are colleagues. We work. We with me, him, and the music. I'm not trying to be his friend.
Yep.
And so I think that, as funny as that sounds, it's the truth. And
that's interesting.
Also, it's kept me working for him for so many years. So, you know, Junior and I, we are when it comes to that part of us, we're so connected, and we like, just like it's like nothing's like no time has gone by at all. So
right.
Right. Yeah, it's like a synergy.
That's
major. He plays the music, and you do the movement.
And it's just the triangle thing just keeps going on and on. And it's amazing that what we have together. So
that's so cool. So cool.
You've worked with so many DJs, so like Peter Rawhofer. Of all the DJs you work with, this working relationship, is it like with Junior, would you say the tightest?
Yeah. It was the tightest, but I will give them all these DJs I have worked for. It's amazing how, because New York really doesn't allow you to like work with other people. You know what I mean? You have your thing and that's it. And I've been so blessed to be able to slur my career with other people and to do that thing. And I don't know why I've been able to do that. I think being part of a huge family and like being the way I was brought up, I think that helped to let me work with other people. You know what I mean? I just didn't, I don't consider myself the all in all. I don't consider myself the only thing. I work really well when I'm doing other people's art. You know what I mean? I work really well with doing their art or doing it together or collaborating.
You can collaborate. You know how to give and take.
And I love to collaborate. So that's just that's just me, you know?
Now, you had mentioned your family. So can you tell us a little about your family? Like how many?
I'm from Virginia, born and raised. I have 7 brothers and sisters. Well, there's 8 of us in my family. 5 boys, 3 girls.
I want those beginning stories. Like Joey Arias at 3 years old was making shoes out of cardboard boxes.
So
I'm looking for that.
So I'm in. This is 5th grade, elementary school. There's a talent show. I think it's 5th grade because I think it's 5th grade. I stole my sister's platform wedge heels.
That's what we want.
Wedge cork heels, like
cork heels. They were called
leather straps over them, and her empire waist, long dress with the buttons right here. Do you know with the ruffles right here, the cap sleeves?
Yep.
Green. With my mother's scarf, a babushka, like this.
You put the babushka on your head
too. With this thing, but I had built it up in the back, so it looked like it was like really hot, kind of like Nina Simone almost. So it was red, right? And then I go onto stage. I have my mom come bring her makeup. Her fashion fair, and she beats my face. She's like, "What are you getting ready to do? What, Mom? I don't want to hear it right now." She said, "Let me tell you something." She said, "I don't want to hear if you don't win. If you don't win, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about it.
Yeah.
I don't want your father to hear about it. I don't want no one to hear about it. Nobody to hear about it." She said, "So I advise you to win, and even then, I don't want to hear about it." I said, "Mom, just do this." So I go on stage. I come out. The music starts. And it goes, "First, I was afraid. I was." So because of the 45, it was the instrumental on the 45.
Oh, you used a 45. I love it.
I did. I Will Survive. and laid on the ground and did, oh, now go.
Oh,
So
my
at the end of
God.
the end of the number, they are like this. The kids, and then all of a sudden they were like, woo! And I ended up winning the competition.
Yes.
Good
Yes,
and good for you.
yes.
But I need to
Fifth
I need to
grade.
ask you this. You said this was 5th grade.
5th grade.
Okay, so like you were probably like what, 9 or 10?
Yeah.
Okay, that's really off the charts at like 9 or 10.
Incredible.
What made you so bold, right, to be out to that degree? Who made you feel so comfortable within yourself?
My voice was very high at the time. I didn't see any other way of doing it. There's no other way for me to do it. There was no other way to do it. There's no other way to see it. I didn't even wonder whether or not they liked it or not. It wasn't even about me being gay or being a woman or anything. I knew how to dress the package up, look cute, and do it. That's all I knew. I didn't think of it as a me being a girl or anything like that. It was I just knew I had to put a look on and do it. That's the way I see it. Yeah.
That's amazing.
But that is
that was so bold.
Yeah, I was bold.
And that set your pace for boldness.
Right.
Coming up ahead.
And it's also
incredible.
So
this elementary school was this elementary school was in the suburbs of Richmond, Virginia. This is like, I was one of 4 blacks out of the school, like maybe 500-600 kids. You know what I mean?
Girl, they remember you.
Yeah.
It was like a lot of kids, but it was just kind of like, when I hear my friends talk about it, they're just like, you were always like, no one was shocked by me. That was just typical me. Like,
well, your family had to be like totally cool and in your corner.
My mom was cool. My mother was cool. My mother is the one that really protected me. She allowed me. So everybody had to go to the playground. I could go downstairs to the basement and listen to records. I could go down the basement to sing. I could go down my basement was my playground. That had over 3,000 album. I had a whole album wall and everything from rock to country to everything on this album wall. So I listened to everything, and she used to love it. I remember one time I was listening to Barbra Streisand, and I'm like, listen to it. My mom's sitting and I'm listening to Barbra, and I'm singing, and she's just like. She said, I said, my mom's sitting right there. She's on the steps, and she's like, that white girl can sing. She can sing. She can sing, girl. She can sing. I said, yeah, she can sing. Then the mom said, no, she can sing. I said, yeah, she can sing.
But that's so wonderful that she was so supportive.
Really?
Yeah,
so supportive.
And you know what? We all felt that. I remember, all my brothers and sisters, we all felt that special with my mom. You know what I mean? So she did not neglect us whatsoever. My dad, on the other hand, he tried. He did very hard to understand. My dad was still around, 97 years old. And,
God bless.
He's still doing his thing. He's he understands me a little bit better now, but he used to put me through it a little bit. But what I realized when you get older, you realize that they did the best they could. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean?
Oh my God! Thank you for saying that.
None of them were. None of my brothers and sisters are in jail. None of them are. They're still here with me, and I'm just like, and they all have great jobs. They're really respectable, and they have great families. So I'm just like, my family, my mom and dad, especially my dad, he did the best he could, and he did what he could.
Yep.
So.
Absolutely.
It is interesting how all of that positive influence, right? I think you came into the world, and you can correct me. You were this when you came in.
Yeah, my mother told me I was the hottest baby she had, girl.
Right. It's like it was
she thought she'd give birth to the devil.
that performance was going to be full of drama. It was the first one. It was full of drama. I'm coming out.
All she would do, she said she only ate ice the whole time she was. She's always so hot,
Right.
I was like,
the spawn of the devil. But you know what? It just shows that if you are allowed to be your authentic self, and it's allowed to flourish, then you just grow, you grow into it. We've had a lot of people on this show that have told us the same thing. And that's a valuable lesson for parents to really learn.
Absolutely.
I did push the envelope just a little bit.
Thanks.
Just a little.
I pushed it a little bit in the sense of like, I did not like being a kid, to be honest with you. I was ready to get out of this being a kid. It was so hard for me to be a kid. Like I didn't understand, like playing with a ball, like kid things. Like I was just like,
not you.
like And so I had to wait. When it was time for me to go, I fleeced. I was gone. I was out of there, girl. You know, like out of there, like,
bye-bye.
No,
but,
we've got several people
comments.
watching. But thank you very much for tuning into If These Walls Could Talk with your host, Wendy Stuart and Tym Moss, and our amazing and legendary guest, the one and only Kevin Aviance. Yay, we love Kevin.
Hello, Kevin.
But I want to talk about music too. We're going to switch to movie or music, but we've got a lot of comments. A lot of people had things to say. Let me find a couple. Sumatsuki, who I had lunch with, said hello, lovely people.
Okay. B. Claudia comes in from Germany. You would love her. Shared the show. Great. B. Claudia loves your outfits. Thank you. Teresa Sabin follows us. Says you have a gorgeous smile.
Yeah.
Gorgeous smile.
And Billy Hess.
Hello, Billy Hess.
And he was saying, like, when we were talking about the clubs, he was like, it was hot then.
Yeah. You've worked with Billy, haven't you?
Yes.
Amazing. He just took some incredible shots for me. I love Billy's work.
Rich Osaguera says, wow, what an icon to have on your show.
Thank you, Rich. Nick Lyon
says, amazing show. Love Kevin Aviance.
Hey, Nick. Thank you.
Let me see here.
We are busy. All right.
Yeah, we've got, and there's a few more. Egypt LaBeja.
Hi, Egypt.
Says, I love me some Kevin Aviance.
Oh my God, I forgot to send you the link. I was supposed to send the link. Well, she's here anyway. So there you go. I told her to send her the link.
Now, music.
Yes.
So you have done some music like Din Da Da and Cunty and where did those are those songs that you wrote or did you collaborate?
Those Cunty, well, the whole music thing came. Okay, so when you're growing up in the 80s and stuff like that, you want to be a pop star. I mean, the pop star in the 80s was just like everything. You know what I mean? So, going into this whole thing, I had some friends, of course, Cesar Lindo and Steve Travolta, and some more people. They, these people very important people in my life because they directed me. You need those people in your life that can move you.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And I would say these people are those people in my life. I cherish what they did for me because I didn't do it myself. In no way, shape, or form did I do it just by me just doing it. So they kind of like directed me in the direction, and you can either take it or not take it. You know what I mean? So they introduced me to Jarrell Black. Jarrell Black he'd already had a group called Rages, and they was putting stuff out on Strictly Rhythm, which is a little independent record label at the time here in New York, and they'd done, Frank Lufuentes, of course, and they had the thing called the bitch track, So that was a very one words, very this thing, a lot of attitude and stuff. So he had this music, so he had played it for me. He ordered some chicken. We had some chicken. He had some grape soda there for me, and we ate grape soda and chicken, and then he played the music for me. And when he played the music for me, it was like dun dun. I was like, ooh, girl, that's fierce. And he played some dun dun. I was like, oh, mind you, before that happened, the weekend before that, I had been to the Pier, and the Pier used to have all these really just things going on at the Pier.
Amazing,
it wasn't so pretty back then.
Absolutely.
So, I remember seeing these
very gritty.
I remember seeing these two little kids, and they were young. New York, the LGBTQ community back then was very young. I'm not used to seeing that at all, right?
Yes.
And so I saw these two kids with a broken mirror and a chair, and they were like standing in front of them. And girl, I'm cunty, girl. Yeah. And I'm like this going.
No.
I love it. I love that they had I love the prop, a broken mirror and a chair.
But
God bless.
They were serious. They were serious.
Yeah. They were serious.
Yeah.
I sat there, must have been for an hour and a half, 2 hours watching these kids, getting my life watching these kids.
Yeah.
And they're beautiful, beautiful. One was black, one was Latino. And I was just like, they were like beautiful kids, but skinny. And they were just like posing out and doing their little thing. I mean, just kind of, I was like, God, I wish to God I was that kid, back in the, when I was a kid, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Anyway, so I marked it, not knowing where I was going to be like 2 weeks from there, right? So I hear the track, dun, 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 and I'm like, oh, this is, he says, what do you think? I said, the song is Cunty. He goes, oh, that's the name of the song then, girl. I said, okay, let's start recording. I said, okay, so we did Cunty, and then he said, when you want lyrics, I said, I'm feeling like Daisy, feel like a lily, feel like a brother, feel like an orchid. He goes, wow, you, Miss Kevin Aviance, you have yourself a song, girl. And
I love it. The
Yes.
making of
Yes.
cunty. I love it.
So I got it back in a couple weeks, and this is when things were on DATs or cassettes back then.
Yep.
And we gave it to Junior, and then Junior had it for like a while, and it already started going through the underground a little bit, not a lot. It hadn't been released yet, but it was like underground kids were having, that's how the track would go. And then we waited like 8 weeks for Junior to play it at the tunnel, and then finally, when he didn't play it, I walked out. I was done with Junior. I was done. I was like, you know what? I don't know why you're not playing my record, my new record, in the way kids. So I walked out. And as I'm walking out, and I took a whole bunch of kids with me too.
Good.
And we were, and right when we walked through the door, because there's a double door, like, cut. I said, oh, this bitch is too much, honey. Okay, girls, let's get back in the club, girls.
Yeah, right.
Hey, Sonny, she played country, and that was amazing. Like,
Oh my God, that is amazing.
they're like amazing. And then then it started this whole this whole thing with like, country's not about living major, living minor, female parts or anything like that. It's about this anointment you get from God, and this anointment that I think we all are as LGBTQ
Plus.
we are. They called it confidence back in the day, but I'm gonna call it cuntiness. You know what I mean? When we all get our our flowers, our thing to be able to walk around this world and feel fab and feel fierce and to feel incredible. I think that one song is just something that really actually what's the word? It actually hits it right on the nail. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
It hits the nail on the head. It encompasses exactly what the feeling.
Sorry, I'm having a moment in my head of the feeling of the flavor of the premium.
No, you're living in that moment.
I'm like, oh my God.
Your music style is something that's interesting to me because you repeat words.
Yes.
You repeat them and repeat them and repeat them. But when you listen, they're never coming back the same.
Right.
I have never, the closest I've heard from that, I've spent time in Africa in remote areas with tribal people. That's how they sing. Right. And it's not ever, it keeps coming back. It's the same word, right? But it's not the same word. And the beat is different. And the next thing you know, it's in you. It's deep in you. It's in your brain. It's in your heart. And it's in your body. Right. Why do you do that?
For exactly that same reason. That reason. I don't know anything else to do. I don't know. I mean, I've been classically trained. I've taken the classes. I've done all this. I can't tell you. I've never taken a class doing what I do. You know what I mean?
Never.
The only time I've actually seen anybody do exactly what I do is when I don't know when I guess when I see something that is tribal or something like that. You know what I mean? I trust my feelings, and I trust what's in my soul, and I trust in my heart. You know what I mean? I'm nothing without a beat. You know what I mean? I'm nothing without a rhythm. You know what I mean? Without all that, and everything has a rhythm to it. Whether it's a ballad, whether it's a concerto, whatever, everything has a rhythm to it. So it's like without that rhythm part of it, that whole way of talking and to be able to express yourself, it's like that to me is like so important for me. It's like, I remember Caesar one time saying, Caesar used to train me a lot. I need you to sit in this chair, butt naked, and perform. And I want to see if you can do it without moving from that chair. And I said, oh, girl. He goes, let's go. And I said, okay. He said, sit in that chair and don't move. And I would do that. I would do it time and time again for him. And he said, see, girl, you can do it. You can do it. You should be able to perform anywhere, anyhow.
Love it.
If you lose your arms, you lose your legs, you can still perform no matter what.
Yeah.
That's right.
Wow.
That's right. I love it. No, that is a valuable lesson.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now we've got a video that we want to take a look at. So it's not cunty, unfortunately.
No, it's like I have, my taste is out there, and I looked at everything. I really love this because it was a child's nursery rhyme.
Yes.
I love that you did that.
Thank you.
That's our video.
Let's take a look at Kevin Aviance.
Mary had a little lamb, her fleece was white as snow. Everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go. Followed her to school one day was against the rules. It made the children laugh and play. Laugh and play. Mary had a little lamb, her fleece was white as snow. Everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go. Followed her to school one day was against the rules. It made the children laugh and play. 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 Mary had a little lamb, fleece was white as snow. Everywhere that Mary went, lamb was sure to go. Followed her to school one day, was against the rules. Made the children laugh and play. 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 Mary. Was white as snow. Knew when Mary went low, that lamb was sure to go. It's hard school one day, and it was against the rules. It made the children laugh and play. It made the children laugh and play. The children the children laugh and play. Laugh and
And I just, everything about that
Yes.
piece to me, Chauncey's going to get on me for calling it a piece. It's a piece. It's an artistic piece. It's perfect. It's perfect. Everything. I just love it.
You were laughing and playing.
Yeah, and I watch it over and over again because you know what? It speaks volumes.
Thank you
about
so
who
much.
Kevin Aviance.
You know, we did that video during the pandemic, and
Oh wow.
we right at the beginning of it actually, and you know, there was girl, you have no idea. This is before they were really locking during the lockdown actually, and I just felt I had to do it first of all. We had to track. I've had to track for about a long time, for about 3 years, and then we decided to like do this song and decided to put a video to the song, and then putting it together. You know, it was kind of like, you know, we had to do it on the hush because, you know, they were like, you know, all the codes and everything like that.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, right.
And, before we really knew what we had to do, you know.
Yep.
And so literally was so secretive about it, and then we couldn't release it right away until after a certain time because people found out that we had done it it was girls, all this drama.
Oh,
Exactly.
I didn't want to get canceled before I even got started. You know what I mean? So it was kind of like, girl, what are we gonna do? And they said, just wait, Then finally we released it, and had to be quiet about releasing it and stuff. So
Yeah.
you know, the thing about it is that video is like, you know, people are doing, so everybody's doing green screen and doing all that stuff. You know, that thing was shot in one section, one part, and then an artist come in and bring all the artwork, all this stuff that was brought in. And then my friends, of course, being in the video and, you know, trying to, like you said, you know, taking something and repeating it over again, making this thing come to life. And my longtime videographer, Peter Martinez, the director, he loved the song so much. So he was like, Kevin, just give them the song. You know what I mean? Just don't worry about too much props and all that stuff. And he made the thing look magical. You know what I mean? It's amazing how
he designed everything that happened. It is absolutely brilliant. Whose choice was it to turn, like when you first came up with the concept of Mary Had a Little Lamb, what were you thinking when you came up with that?
So Mary Had a Little Lamb to me is something that I used to say when I was a club kid. So I used to walk around the club going, Mary had a little lamb and the pieces of white snow. Everyone Mary the lamb was sure to go. So that was the So I used to say, Mary, Mary, Mary. Because before there was Felicia, there was Mary, okay?
Yeah.
In our gay history, Mary has always been a fierce girl, okay?
Yeah.
So Mary represents that. Mary also represents for me your mentor, you know what I mean? So you're like, you know,
Mary.
And the little lamb is just somebody that's, you know, as you already know, is little lamb
to the
like,
scene,
you know, right? Exactly.
A Twinkie.
So, what?
A Twinkie.
No, well, I mean, he
that's what I thought the lamb was. I'm like,
he was adorable, wasn't he? He was adorable.
he was cute as anything. I was in love with the lamb.
Yeah, he's an amazing guy. So, but he's like the whole thing about it. I can't even talk about who he is either because he's the major actor now. So it's just kind of like, you know, it's kind of like, oops, you know, he did that thing for me, and I was so happy that he did that. But
he got his start as a lamb. That's like the best.
Yeah.
Doesn't get it.
I'm gonna shout out to Abraham Levy, Abraham Extravaganza, who did all the costumes for this.
Oh, that was fabulous. Yeah, absolutely.
He's amazing. He's amazing. Right. He's wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah. Now, you were a big part of the evolution of the LGBT movement, or of visibility, LGBT visibility. And again, a good friend of yours. No, as far as and another good friend of yours, and a friend of mine, Ari Gold, who also contributed a lot to the visibility of the LGBT community.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about Ari? Because I know the two of you.
I can talk all day about Ari. Ari is like Ari to me is like my little, like he was my. Well, first of all, he was my friend. He was my friend. He was my buddy, my sister, just everything to me. We first day we met at the nightclub Champs.
Oh my God, I used to go to Champs. You met at Champs?
He was the co-check boy, and I was the girl. I used to do a party there called the Jock Factory Competition. So people used to come in with jock straps and you judge them, right? And so Ari and I, we met. He was a co-check boy, and I was like this. You're cute, you know, like that. And he goes, "Thank you." And I go, "Okay." So that night after the show, we went to his apartment, and we played music and everything like that. And he played some songs for me and stuff like that, and what he did and stuff like that. And then from there it was just history. I mean, we went to Japan together, we went to Europe together. You know, he's somebody that would read me to my face, but yet love me so much at the same time. I never met anyone so. Well, that's a lot. My friends, to me, the friends I have that are close to me that are my family, and I mean family, they're friends. Yeah. I somehow they know my family. Okay, so if they're friends of mine that know my family, they know my real family. Okay,
right.
So Ari is somebody that will to me could sit with my brothers and sisters and say he's one of the family, like he's one of the brothers and sisters. You know what I mean? So yeah. He was that guy. He could see something in a lot of people, that a lot of different types of people that people would not normally see normally. Right. He had a harem of black queens that he loved. So being part of this whole like harem of black queens that he was so enthralled by. He lived for them. He was taken by them. He was just got to the point that I was like, girl, let me tell you something. If he's not a black queen, you really don't live for them at all, do you, girl? He's like, I said, no, but seriously, Ari, like, what is the deal? What's the deal here? I want to know. And he was just like, I don't know what the deal is. Like, he was obsessed. He loved it. He loved the talent. I mean, he loved the drama of it all. He always said, he said, black drag is political. And I'm like, yeah, it's political. Yeah, Ari gets it. You know what I mean? So he was just like, so he was somebody that not only did he get it, but he marched right with the trans and and he was just there. He was somebody that I thank God that could teach me things, you know, that I didn't know already. You know what I mean? And not make fun of me and not knowing those things, and just teach me and held me and hold me and was there when the worst things happened to me. He was there. When he
that's a friend, that's a brother.
Right.
And because he was a pop star in the LGBT community, with some great music, and he was, I think, the first or one of the first, openly gay artists that used the pronouns, where he would say, "I love him." And because everybody else before that had to disguise it and say, "Oh, I love her," like it's a straight relationship. He was one that broke that wall and broke that barrier. Amazing. And unfortunately, we lost him a year ago this last Valentine's Day. And I saw your post was how I found out on a bus on my way to the Bronx. I saw your post about it, and I screamed. I actually let out a yell on the bus, and
So, Kevin, you know, when you have that with somebody, I had that with Sweetie. I know you.
Oh my God, Sweetie!
That was my best friend.
I have to show you something. I have to show you. Wait.
I love it.
Oh, and also don't forget Wonder Woman. Bring Wonder Woman.
Go get it all. Every prop that you have there.
This is where the music should be playing, like the intermission.
So I do these portraits, these little portrait things, right? That after my beating, I started doing these little portrait things, whatever. I thought nothing of it, whatever. And I kept doing them. So for some reason, and I really can't draw anybody. For some reason, I drew this.
Oh my God!
Oh my God! I love that.
It's Sweetie.
Yes,
right? I know that it's Sweetie.
That is totally Sweetie.
Isn't it Sweetie though? It's just so.
Something made you draw that.
Yes, and Sweetie was a major person who helped me to start my little cabaret world. So she taught me how to do it and what I had to do, what I couldn't do, what I could do, and how to do it in an hour. I had 1 hour to do things, and that's it, to get my message across and to do it. And so she was amazing.
She taught you well. And I'm asking you about Sweetie in relation to Ari, because for me, part of the reason I'm here at PANGEA, I swear to God, Kevin, Sweetie put me here.
Yeah,
she was here 2 days before she passed. I went through her whole cancer trip with her from the very beginning. And I am sure I am here because of her. And losing her for me in this world, you know, the world like where you could reach out and touch Ari and call up Ari and sit together. We lose that when these people pass on. But in other ways, they are so, and it's more than being in your heart. I guess what I want to ask you is, like, I feel Sweetie beside me much of the time.
I call them gangels, okay? And
Gangels, I love that.
I know that they are screwing all their essence and dramas, and they're down on us and protecting us. You know what I mean? I feel like that they are, you know, Ari he's not here physically, but he asked me, he said, "Are you gonna be okay? Before he passed, he said, "Are you gonna be okay?" Like, why would you ask me if I'm not gonna be okay? Are you gonna be okay? Because you got to be okay. You got a lot of work to do. You got a lot of things you got to do, and I'm gonna be right there. So don't think I'm not there, Kevin. I'm there right with you. And I said, "Okay, Ari." And then the last thing you would think about is, you know, is this person who's in pain, dying, and going through stuff. And I'm like, he's thinking about me? Like, are you serious? Like, it's just so surreal. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like you think about this life and what we do here and everything, and then these people who are so special in your life, my mother, Ari, whatever, that they gone and they're all together, and as far as I'm concerned. And so I'm just like, you know, the pressure's hard, it's heavy on me. You know what I mean?
It's heavy.
It's heavy, and it's
Because
like
we don't have them here physically. We can't touch them. We can't turn to them.
Right. And as much as you want to be selfish and say, I don't want you to go, I want you to be here, but you don't want someone in pain. You don't want them to deal
Absolutely
with that essence of of discomfort. You know what I mean? Which is so bad that you can't even fathom that. All you can do is just keep them in your heart and just you don't forget them. You can't forget them. If you do, you're great. Fool, but you got to take this stuff with you and still give it out to the world. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Important. We have the older you get, the more responsibilities you have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially when you're gay. You know what I mean? You have a responsibility to turn it out, to still to give it out to the kids, to let them know whether they want to hear it or not. You have to step into your shoes and do it, whether you like it or not.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
No matter what.
We didn't have that. We did not have that.
Exactly.
Everybody that was supposed to mentor us, they died. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, now that we're all living, people are living now and stuff like that. It's just we have a responsibility to do what we need to do to allow the next to come up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, thank you again, everyone, for tuning into If These Walls Could Talk with your hosts, Wendy Stuart and Tym Moss, and our incredible guest, the iconic and legendary Kevin Aviance, right there. Yay!
Kevin.
Just a couple more things. Kobe Cole, our dear friend
Hi, Kobe. We love Kobe.
Hi, Kobe.
Says, I love Kevin Aviance since 1987.
Yes.
Evan Lawrence is on and just said one word, fierce. Kobe also says fabulous video. B. Claudia from Germany says super cool.
Joey Preston, brilliant.
Let me see here. Timothy Scooter Wilson sends rainbow flag or rainbows. And B. Claudia again says fabulous. Love it. Love it.
I just love, I always like to call out the chat because I love the positivity, right? This is, not only
does anybody give out negativity though? I mean, do they do that anymore? I mean,
I've had a couple. Yeah.
We've had a couple of wackos.
Yeah.
You could get a wacko.
I think a negative thing is kind of cute sometimes. It's like, oh, bring it, girl. What's the
problem? But the problem is
some light in your life, girl. You need some light in your life, girl.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
But the problem is usually they're not even clever.
No, they're not even clever, girl.
They're
just
just
you wasted all that.
vile.
You wasted all that time for what, girl?
We had somebody one time that was going to pray for us.
Yeah, a religious guy.
Woo, child.
I was like, Tim, is that one of yours? They're going to pray for us. My God.
Oh my God.
So, Beauty Queen, tell us about Beauty Queen.
Beautyqueen.com. Well, first of all, I don't hitch my name to anything, first of all. And this is the first time I've ever really done this. So, Beauty Queen, I was asked by Mr. D and Richie Rich to come along about a year ago.
And we've had Richie on our show. I love Richie.
To come and to be part of this this platform, beautyqueen.com, BTYKWN.com, is the first ever makeup community, digital makeup community.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you think of MTV, right? You think of MTV, you think of music TV. If MTV was to open now, it would be called makeup TV, okay? Our record stores are now turned into makeup stores, say Sephora, or record stores anywhere, basically anywhere.
Right.
So people go there for like pop culture. They go there for like the latest whatever, the latest this, the latest that. And it's one of the few things that's become genderless. Makeup has become genderless. It's really incredible because it used to be very genderfied. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Now it's like genderless. I think that's it.
Genderless. It's genderless.
Yeah, it's genderless. Okay. So and it's not and males makeup also doesn't mean just paint. It means moisturize. It means all the prep work. It means all the skincare too. So makeup could be anything. It could be nail polish. It could be anything like that. So so where you have a now where things are genderless, that opens up a whole new world where you can use it as a sort of like a piece of like a movement. You know what I mean? You can.
I love it as a movement.
Nice.
Makeup is a movement.
Makeup is a movement, and it represents a lot. It represents individualism. It's okay for you to be yourself. It's okay to be as as loud or as soft or whatever you want to be, and it's okay and it's all right, and we can share that with each other. So that's what Beauty Queen is about. We have it's going to be tutorials, it's going to be videos. There's a show that I'm going to be doing on it, which is going to be my late night show there. I'm also the MC for beautyqueen.com.
Nice. And once again, that's BTYKWN.com.
KWEEN, right?
KWN.com.
Yes.
Yeah, I have trouble with those letters. I had to write it out. BEAUTYKWEEN. Because the letter, it's a lot of letters, Kevin.
Yeah, but BTYKWN.
Right.
Beauty Queen.
Okay, BTY.
Put on your big girl panties, girl. Come on.
Yeah.
BTYKWN.
Yeah. Yes.
Now, my dear friend, Nathan James. He's a journalist and LGBT journalist, and among other things, he just got elected also in Philadelphia. So he's an electoral judge.
He's fabulous.
And yes, but I was talking to him this morning, and he wanted me to be sure to ask you about what is it? Din Dada. How did you come up with that?
Din Dada was
Din Dada. Yeah.
I used to lip sync this song all the time in drag, so it was part of my act, you know. And then when it came down to me when I was doing my first album, Box of Chocolates, I was working with Francois Kevorkian, and I said, "Listen, Francois, do you think maybe I could do a cover of Din Dada?" He goes, "Really, Kevin?" I said, "Yeah, I mean, I lip synced it for years." And I said, "I think you do it." Well, it wasn't so easy. We worked with the first producer, Louis Ballo, and it came out really kind of boogie, like not good. And then I worked with Gomi. Gomi had me working with a jazz singer, and I had been working with a jazz singer for about 2 months, and I found out that I could scat, and so then I took these lessons of how to say staccato and vibrato, all this stuff through sound, you know what I mean? And to do these words. And then it just found the love for scatting a lot. So when you have this little backdrop, this little kind of like to do something. So you go do the song. And then it just kind of like flowed out of me. So it was really interesting how, you know, somebody can show you something just to tweak you, just a little bit, just to like show you. And now it's part of my life. So
I had no idea that there was that was really developed from scat, and now.
Well, I mean, it's like a scat, but actually the song became a song because the guy George was a studio drummer, and so when he was testing his drums in the studio, he would go da 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 da. The guy was recording him at the same time. And he recorded him. Little did he know that he had, you know, songs. He never really performed the song ever. He was a studio musician. And so this song, and they just tracked the record and they made it into a song.
Wow.
So it was called Tumbleys or something like it was called Tumbleys or something like that when it first came out. And then it had like 3 lives. So it had that Tumbleys Live, the first disco live. Then it came back again with all the Crush Groove people, all the hip hop people. And then the third time around was when I did the track. So. Yeah, then it had another live again after that with the what's the girl, the Red Eye Peppers, no, the
Red Chili Peppers.
Black Eyed Peas.
Yeah,
Black Eyed Peas did it. So
yeah.
Great song.
Fab.
Great.
Yeah.
So Kevin, what?
And also, good. So, but Din Dada became a fixture in the ballroom community. So the guys started doing hand performance with my song. So that's what makes the song so incredible within our community, because the kids changed the way they vote because of that song.
Wow, incredible.
Amazing.
Yes.
Now, speaking of the ballroom scene, Pose, for example.
Yes.
Which I was just talking about this earlier today too, about how the ballroom scene. I love Pose, great, and what they did and the representation. However, they could not grasp the grit the social experience that the pain, like oh, they lived in this huge apartment in the Bronx. Well, what was it like riding the train to and from the Bronx? That was not good. They had a scene on the pier, which is all nice and sweet, and you've got the pretty benches that you can sit on now. You didn't have those back in the day when the girls were there with the broken glass or broken mirror going.
Tim. You know, and I know, and as Wendy should know, we all know, we know.
Yes, right.
Unfortunately, they did the best they could. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So, TV is not a full experience. You can see it, but you can't smell it. You can't feel it. You can't they assume you could maybe smell it. They assume you could feel it. You assume you could actually sometimes they don't even hear it, you know what I mean? But I just feel like TV, they need to add one little element to it to make it more real, I guess. I don't know what movies are there for. But
I couldn't even watch Pose. So on the upside, I love that they did it for the kids. These kids did not experience it. We did. But I couldn't watch it because I had been through AIDS big time. And I remember I was raw from all of that. And that's what was still there for me.
And again, it was almost like the community, like the ballroom community were almost like the Lost Boys.
Yeah. Well put.
That were just, these were a lot of kids that were tossed out of their home, out of their communities, that homeless, that didn't have a place to sit and found a family with each other. You know what I mean? And that's what created ballroom, in my opinion.
Well, the ballroom, there's one thing about Pose that's really kind of weird for me. I remember them being more drag queens and less about transsexuals. I mean, I remember everyone being more drag. I mean, people might slap me right now. I might be upset with me about when I say this, but
no, that's true. That's true for that time.
I remember being more like that. But I understand why they did what they did,
right?
Now, and the way they put people in those positions do what they have to do. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
No, but I know what you're saying. But we're talking about TV, right? We're talking about dollars and selling a concept.
Right. And you got 1 hour to prove it. You got 1 hour. You had a season.
Right. And they have to be PC.
And the truth is, people I know in the trans community, a lot younger than us, they loved it, and it totally appealed to them. So you know what? It did a good thing.
Right. And I think that, it is what it is, and we move forward and we just do it. I'm very happy that we're able to have that and to do that. And it has opened up other worlds for everyone. And
exactly.
More visible.
And it has brought an awareness about that scene to this generation for them to kind of pick it up and to carry it on as well in this new watered down PC version of America.
The post-pandemic America, watered down and PC. Don't forget all the adjectives it described now. We're all still here, okay?
Oh my God. I'm telling you, Kevin, I've got so many more questions I would love to cover with you, but unfortunately we're running out of time.
We are running out of time. I just have one thing because I do need to bring it up. Because it's something I deal with a lot. Violence in the LGBTQ community still happening. Yeah. And I think it was 2006 for you. And I just real quick, I remember when you were attacked, I got the call from Sweetie, who was a mess, who told me you had been attacked and a brutal attack in the East Village. And the thing is, all right, how do we turn something so horrific into a positive? You actually became a voice for everybody. And I just want to call that right out here. Because it was, you know what? It was unthinkable in many ways. You are bigger than life, always have been. How dare anyone lay a hand on you, right? And put you up in the hospital to that degree. Not only, were you vocal about it, But girl, you came back. What is like the bionic woman? Stronger, better, right?
Well, just, you know, what really, you know, you're dead if you're dead. You know what I mean? And I lived through this. And you know, funny, there was another attack the weekend after mine, and that guy died. And
Oh my God.
another one like 2 weeks after that guy died too, and that person died too. And so when I tell you that, you know, it was hard. I mean, it's hard to deal with because you don't know what the stuff that comes afterwards, all the PSD and all the drama, all the, you know, it's just, it was bad. It was really rough, and I went through really rough times after that.
Of course.
And trying to understand it and trying to see how I was gonna make this thing, you know, mesh my life, how I was gonna get my career back, how I was gonna do that. I mean, I lost everything because of that one incident. Just I couldn't get myself together, and thank God I was able to just like go and work on myself and come back, you know, and just be part of my story instead of being the story, you know.
Right.
Because
What I will say now is that, you know, we must be vigilant about everyone must be vigilant about looking out for each other and hearing each other and being conscious of what's going on around you. You know, there are people out in this world that just don't like you. There's people out in this world that it's just not going to mess with, and it's not going to be good. I would say, when something like this happens, run as fast as you can and just get out of it. You know what I mean? Don't sit and don't try to defend yourself because you don't need to defend yourself. People are just ugly. And what I can say is that, you know, when there were like a bunch of people, there was like 80 some witnesses that saw this thing. And when I was at the thing, I met these people and half of them were gay. And I was just like, wow, they like watched this thing happen. So the whole thing was just a real mind, kind of a thing for me because I was such a people person and for the community and everything. And so I was battling a lot with that after the fact. You know, what I realized out of all of it is it is what it is, and it's what you do with it after the fact, or what you do with yourself. You know, I wanted to perform, I wanted to get back on stage, I wanted to do all that stuff, but I had to do a lot of work to get myself back up to that, and I had to learn how to love myself. You know what I mean? To learn how to love yourself is just so hard. You know what I mean?
Wow, that is
to relearn how to love, to relearn how to, when you don't have everything else, when you don't have all the money and all the costumes and everything's gone. It's gone. And you just sat there with yourself and just like, you know, and everybody's just going, you know, it made me crazy a little bit because I was just like, why are you clapping for me? Like I did nothing, you know? And you know, I went kind of like, it was really dark there for a while, but the light did shine and the clouds moved.
Well,
and,
I
think I had God in my life to help me along. You know, my mother passed right before that happened.
Oh my goodness!
So it was kind of like this whole thing, just like
crumbling.
Like it's all around me. You know.
Yeah.
I know, but look at this conversation and look at where we are right now. And I guess that's the message. That's the message.
But unfortunately, people who shine light from their soul, unfortunately, people who are dark, have dark souls, don't like that. There are dark forces out there that are trying to extinguish lights, but we don't let that happen. So.
Nope.
I mean, the whole situation was just very strange. I mean, it was black men that did it to me, black young kids that did it to me, and which is a whole other drama in itself. You know, that just like that. I can tell you how that affects me too, and then trying to like, you know, realize that, you know, people are people and they do things that are not good, and it's even hard for me to talk about it now because it's just kind of even after everything we've been through in the last year with last 2 years with the George Floyd thing and everything like that. It's just you know, it's just been black trans girls being killed, and you know, it's kind of like, you know, it's just amazing. You know what I mean? It's just amazing how, you know.
Which is why it's up to all of us to shine a light out there no matter what, man. You cannot get caught up in the other stuff.
And I'm so very sorry that you experienced that in your life. However, I think I had interviewed you on the red carpet at the Odyssey Awards, and that I think was your first public appearance since then. And I remember you coming in with a cane and just your presence, it was so strong.
Huge,
It
yeah.
really was. It was just you were just a shining example of you are not going to stop.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and thank you for that. Thank you for everything, all your entire representation throughout your life of just being Kevin fucking Aviance.
God damn.
You know, like you are who you are,
Yes.
unapologetically, and thank you very much.
And we celebrate you.
Yes.
So
but we absolutely love and adore you, and thank you so much for taking some time and spending with us. This was so fabulous.
really great.
No, I love that. A great time with
We
you
took
guys.
extra time.
Let's
Okay.
let's have a drink soon, guys. Okay.
Absolutely.
No,
absolutely.
it'll be soon.
So now, where's the best place for people to find out more about you?
Well, Thursday nights I'm at the Q, which you're gonna have your party at. So I'll be there Thursday nights DJing on the second floor and having a great time. And so everybody can come see me there performing or DJ, mostly DJing. I really enjoying DJing a lot.
I love that.
That.
And actually, and we're working with also beautyqueen.com. So you know me. I just show up, girl. So just
and you know what? You're hard to miss.
Yeah.
Hard to miss. She walks
just be ready to know that I may just come through. So you know.
Well, thank you again so much, Kevin Aviance.
Yay!
Right here. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in.
So much. Take care, guys. Bye.
I'm not sure. I don't think Chauncey is there.
He's not there? Oh my God.
To take us out.
I love live stream. Tim, what are we gonna do now?
I'll have him put the tag on the end. Yeah. So we'll
I'm so glad we had this time together.
Together, just to have a laugh or sing a song.
Okay, we're